Chapter 2090. You. How can there be someone like you? You're so shameless. Who would like you? Qin Ning had never seen a man as shameless as Tang Chuan. In the end he decided to just ignore her. When all the dishes were served, Qin Ning was exhausted from climbing the mountain in the morning. So she really didn't care and started eating like a tough woman. If one had to describe it, it would be like a whirlwind sweeping away the clouds. However, Tang Chuan was still watching with great interest. He even took out his phone to secretly take videos. Then he secretly posted on his WeChat friend circle, "I caught a cute girl alive, wah. Suyu, she looks familiar. Huamin, I think it's my Ning Ning. Wei Liao, Mr. Tang, you're so good at flirting with girls. I admire you." In an instant there were dozens of comments, but Tang Chuan didn't reply to a single one because he was busy flirting with Qin Ning. Maybe he was used to seeing pretentious bitches purposely acting coy while eating. So Tang Chuan felt that it was very interesting to see Qin Ning eat like this. It was real and not pretentious. "What are you looking at? Is there something on my face?" Qin Ning helplessly rolled her eyes at Tang Chuan. "Yes, there are peach blossoms. I'll wait here for you to come back. I'll wait for you to come back and see the peach blossoms bloom." As he spoke he even started singing. It was obvious that Tang Chuan was in a good mood. "You're crazy." Qin Ning cursed out of nowhere. "I'm crazy. What about it? Do you have medicine? Do you know how to cure diseases?" Qin Ning, "Waiter, the bill." Qin Ning really felt that she couldn't eat happily, so she decided to pay the bill and leave. However, this gentleman has already paid. The waiter looked at Qin Ning with envy. Qin Ning looked at Tang Chuan. "How much is it? I'll give it to you." "No need, it's my treat." "Do I need your treat? Don't I have money?" Qin Ning asked bluntly. "It's not about whether you have money or not. The problem is that you're a guest from afar and I'm the host. It's normal for me to treat my friends to a meal. Don't take it to heart." Tang Chuan grinned. "Who's your friend? Don't flatter yourself. It's okay. If you don't want to acknowledge me, I'll acknowledge you. Hee, I'm not that heartless." Tang Chuan was still shameless, leaving Qin Ning speechless. "Forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with you. I'm leaving." Qin Ning stood up. "Where are you going?" "I'll give you a ride." "It's okay, I'll drive myself." Qin Ning refused without hesitation. "Hey, little girl, are you really not willing to give me a chance? Do you really like Lord Su?" Hearing Suyu's name, Qin Ning stopped in her tracks. Suyu at least relies on himself to earn and spend his own money. What about you? Was he going to rely on the family funds? Do you have the nerve to squander money like this? Was it really glorious to be a riceworm for a lifetime? Rely on his parents to support him? What if one day his parents were no longer around? Who would he rely on? Their inheritance? Qin Ning's words were sharp and they shocked Tang Chuan slightly. Then Qin Ning turned around and left, without showing any mercy. After she got into her car, she subconsciously looked back and saw that Tang Chuan didn't chase after her. She subconsciously let out a sigh of relief. However, she also knew that her words were a bit harsh. After all, he wasn't related to her. It was a bit too much to scold him like that. She heard the twins once say that Tang Chuan was a real rich kid. Ever since he was born he spent money and did nothing. He didn't go to the family business and traveled all over the world. Then he got drunk, flirted with girls and burned money. Qin Ning never liked this kind of prodigal son. Perhaps because of this she didn't have a good impression of Tang Chuan. After Qin Ning left, Tang Chuan sat in his seat in a daze, thinking about what she had just said. Chapter 2091. That woman was right, all he did every day was burn money. Wei Liao had taken over the family business a long time ago and was busy all day. Lord Su started his own business after he retired from the military and was now a top entertainment tycoon in China. Qin Chu was even more impressive. He was the president of GK and the deals he negotiated were in the billions. He was the leader of the younger generation. But what about him? All he did was spend money. The money belonged to the family now and he could spend it however he wanted. What if the family declined? What if his parents were gone? Who would continue to support his spending? At this thought he sent Qin Ning a WeChat message. "If I can start my own business and be self-sufficient, will you marry me?" "You're crazy." Qin Ning only replied with 3 words. "Ha, you didn't reject me, so I'll take that as a yes. Let me tell you, young lady, if I don't rely on my family and start my own business, you have to keep your word. Not only do I have to support myself but I also have to support you. After Tang Chuan said this, Qin Ning didn't reply at all. He thought he was joking. However, 3 minutes later Tang Chuan updated his WeChat moments again. Starting today I'm going to start my own business. I'm not going to drink, socialize or have sex. I'm going to be a good kid. I'm going to earn money to support myself and my wife. You're crazy, Siu commented. Did you drink too much, young Master Tang? Wei Liao left a comment. Young Master Tang, did your WeChat get hacked? That's not like you. Young Master Tang, did you fail to hit on a girl and get upset? Young Master Tang, there's a new place here. Do you want to come out tonight? Young Master Tang, you're so cool. Chuan Chuan, you haven't talked to me in a while. My period just ended, it's safe. Do you want to come out? Young Master Tang, come to my place tonight. Young Master Tang, have you turned over a new leaf? Huamin commented, which was rare. Yeah, when is Dr. Hua free? Tang Chuan replied to Huamin. What? Huamin replied vigilantly. I'll treat you to a big meal. Tang Chuan smiled mysteriously. Don't tell me you have something to ask of me? Huamin didn't believe that this kid would suddenly be so kind. Of course not. I just think that Dr. Hua is smart and wise. I want to discuss the true meaning of life with you. Forget it. I can't discuss such a profound topic. Why don't you find someone else? Huamin refused. Please don't, Dr. Hua. Don't reject my kindness. I really want to treat you to a meal. You can pick any place you want. I'll even treat you to a banquet. You have to do me the honor. Suyu commented, what's going on upstairs? Are you trying to woo Dr. Hua? I don't have the guts to do that. The line for Dr. Hua stretches all the way to the Caribbean. How could it be my turn? Then why did you treat her to a meal out of nowhere? Is there something fishy going on? Suyu purposely said sarcastically. Lord Su, don't misunderstand. You can come with us when we eat. I will never eat with Dr. Hua alone. At least you know how to behave. Suyu seemed satisfied with his answer. When Qin Ning returned home, the twins were already asleep. She went to the mall alone and bought a lot of things with her credit card. Huamian was very grateful that Huamian had thoughtfully bought gifts for Jixin and Yang Meng. Ning, don't spend money like this. Don't buy things like this again. It's okay. Let her spend. She's rich. Qin Chu crossed his arms in front of his chest. Are you still my brother? Ever since you got married you've been working with your wife to set us up. Qin Ning laughed. Hey Ning, you ate with Tang Chuan today? Huamin suddenly thought of something and asked. Sis-in-law, where did you hear this from? Qin Ning suddenly felt guilty. Chapter 2092. I saw it on Tang Chuan's WeChat moments. He recorded a short video. Huamin picked up his phone and was about to look through the video. Qin Ning immediately felt awkward and explained. Bro, sis-in-law, don't misunderstand. It's like this. I was hiking this morning so I was tired. I was tired of climbing. So I wanted to find a place to eat, so I randomly found a Hong Kong restaurant. Really, believe me, I just randomly found a restaurant and then I met him. What a coincidence, I don't know why it was so coincidental. Then he ate there too and even paid for me. The video was probably taken secretly because I didn't know. That's probably it. What's up with young Master Tang? Is he interested in you? Huamin knew that although Tang Chuan liked to pick up girls, he would never casually post videos and photos on WeChat moments. If one looked closely at Tang Chuan's WeChat moments, they would know that he had never posted photos of girls, nor had he ever publicly admitted to being in a relationship. At least Huamin had never seen him with an official girlfriend, so it was quite strange that he had secretly taken photos of Qin Ning. What's so interesting about him? It's crazy. I don't even know him that well. Qin Ning immediately tried to distance herself. Huamin smiled and looked at Qin Chu. It looks like young Master Tang has taken a liking to our Qin Ning. Huamin thought that Qin Chu would strongly object. After all, Tang Chuan didn't have a good reputation. However, to his surprise, Qin Chu suddenly said, that guy's not bad actually. Huamin, Qin Ning, bro, your daughters told me over and over again not to get too close to that guy. They said that he's not a good person. They said that he's a stud horse who changes women all the time, and that he's a spoiled brat who doesn't know how to earn money. You actually said that he's not bad? You're slapping your daughters in the face, little bean, and putting only see his expression. Actually, Tang Chuan isn't that ridiculous. You can't judge a person by their appearance. He looks like a rich playboy, but he's actually very cunning. He's also very loyal, or else he wouldn't have been friends with Su Yu and Wei Liao for so many years. There's a saying that birds of a feather flock together. You'll see what's going on. Don't be fooled by his appearance. After Qin Chu finished speaking to say to her husbands, and then gave him a thumbs up. Honey, you're absolutely right, I think so too. You two are the best in the world, even showing off your love is so unexpected. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Qin Ning didn't want to talk too much about Tang Chuan, so she went upstairs to sleep. Huamin and Qin Chu finished the last pot of flower tea and were about to go upstairs as well. Just then Huamin received a WeChat voice message. Keef, bad news. My relationship with Ni Yang has been exposed. Qin Jie's voice was trembling. He was obviously very scared. Huamin immediately opened the news page on his phone. Sure enough, the headline immediately changed to Celebrity's Relationship Exposed. His girlfriend is just an ordinary person, suspected to be a nurse at Southside. Below that was a photo of Ni Yang and Qin Jie holding hands. It wasn't very clear, but from the back, it was clear that it was Ni Yang. It wasn't scary to announce their relationship, but it was scary that Ni Yang wasn't prepared for it. If that happened, the fans' reaction would be very intense. After all, female fans nowadays were crazy. What's wrong? Qin Chu saw that Huamin was looking down at his phone and didn't say anything. He had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. Someone took a photo of Ni Yang and Qin Jie, and their relationship has just been exposed. This is going to be troublesome. Huamin frowned slightly. Chapter 2093. Imperial Star has been keeping this under wraps for a long time. How did it get exposed? Qin Chu felt like something wasn't right. I can only say that someone did it on purpose, but it's too late to worry about that now. I don't know how Imperial Star is going to deal with this. Ni Yang is a superstar and I don't even want to think about the repercussions. Huamin was very anxious that something like this happened in the middle of the night. However, the problem was that Ni Yang was no longer GK's favorite artist, so Huamin and Qin Chu couldn't do anything about it. After all, Ni Yang was Su Yu's artist. Huamin called Qin Jie and comforted her. Then he told her that he would see how things went the next day. The next morning, the situation was already very bad, and all the major media outlets were talking about it. The scariest thing about being an artist was that all the details in their lives were magnified. Therefore, as soon as Ni Yang and Qin Jie's relationship was exposed, crazy fans immediately began digging up information about Qin Jie. They dug up her name, address, ID number, where she worked, the school she went to, and even what her parents did for a living. When Huamin arrived at work, he saw a large crowd of reporters and crazy fans blocking the entrance. At that time, Qin Jie hadn't come to work yet. Huamin had an early meeting in the morning, so he arrived early. Half an hour later, a nurse from another department suddenly came to Huamin with a panicked expression. Vice Director, bad news, Qin Jie. What happened to Jie? Huamin was so scared that he immediately stood up and his expression changed. When Jie came to work, she was blocked by reporters at the entrance and was attacked by fans. I think she was injured. There were a lot of people there and we don't know what happened. What should we do? Upon hearing this, Huamin couldn't sit still anymore. He pushed open the door and ran out. As he ran, he ordered the nurses, "Tell the security to come with me." When Huamin arrived at the entrance of the hospital, he saw many people surrounding Qin Jie. Some fans even took out raw eggs and mineral water bottles to help out. Qin Jie, a little girl, squatted there helplessly with her head in her hands. Huamin was instantly enraged. He ran over and violently pushed the crowd aside as he rushed in. "Get out of the way, all of you, get out of the way." After entering the room, Huamian helped Qin Jie up and covered her head with her hands. "Little Jie, are you okay?" "I'm fine, Chief." Qin Jie's voice began to tremble. "Didn't I tell you not to come today?" Huamin looked at her with heartache. "I thought that you still have surgery this afternoon and there are still a lot of things to prepare, so, you little girl, you're really silly. Qin Jie, you're so shameless. Give me back my Ni Yang Appa." Some fans scolded irrationally. "Qin Jie, who gave you the right? You're not good enough. You're a toad that wants to eat swan meat with Ni Yang. Ni Yang is a swan. You're a disgusting toad. Look at yourself in the mirror. How dare you seduce my idol? You bitch, I'll beat you to death." Yeah, I never dreamed that Ni Yang Appa would announce his relationship with an ugly bitch and a bitch nurse. Seriously, did you kidnap our Ni Yang Appa to create hype? The fans' words became more and more vicious, and their emotions became more and more agitated. Then another mineral water bottle was thrown at Qinjie. Qinjie had already lost the will to fight back. Luckily, Huamin reacted quickly and caught the bottle with his bare hands. Chapter 2094. Then he looked around and scolded, "Are you kids born in the 90s? Born in the 90s? Are you Mao Zhongquan? Are you still in school? Are you skipping class to chase your idol? Can't you stand the news of your idol's relationship being exposed? Let me ask you, even if Ni Yang wasn't with Jia, would he be with you? Is that what you call chasing idols? That's perverted possessiveness and why, isn't it? Your parents worked so hard to send you to school and your teachers worked so hard to teach you how to be a good person, and this is what you learned? You used human flesh to harass and attack the person your idol likes. Are you even human? You're already so old, yet you don't have any basic morals? Who are you? Why are you telling us what to do?" Some fans argued with Huamin. "I don't have the right to. Let me tell you, I'm way too qualified. Ni Yang is like a brother to me. Qinjie has been my best assistant for the past few years and they're truly in love. They've always kept a low profile and their relationship is stable. Ni Yang didn't expose his relationship because he wanted to protect her. He didn't want her to get hurt, but you did something that hurt your idol the most. If Ni Yang knew about this, he would be heartbroken. You're lying. Ni Yang Appa wouldn't care about this ugly duckling. We don't believe you. Believe it or not, that's your business. I won't say too much to you, but I'm telling you, don't come to the hospital and harass my colleagues. Otherwise, I won't let you off the hook." Finally, Huamin glanced at the reporters. "What are you looking at? Go away. This is a hospital, not a place for you to dig for news." Then Huamin fiercely took Qinjie into the hospital, and the hospital sent out a large number of security guards to block the reporters outside. In the emergency room, Huamin carefully cleaned Qinjie's wounds with a first aid kit and changed the bandages. "Does it hurt?" Huamin looked at Jia with concern. She shook her head. "You've underestimated the fans. These people are crazy. They don't care about anything. I told you not to come today and wait for this incident to blow over. But you just had to come," Huamin said earnestly. "I didn't think it would be so scary." Qinjie replied regretfully. "Where's Ni Yang? He knows about this, right? Have you met him?" "Not yet, but I've been sending him WeChat messages. He's still promoting his new movie in Jing City, and he'll probably be here tonight. He's quite surprised about this and I don't know how the company will handle it. I'm worried. Chief, do you think I'll affect his career? I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to lose everything because of me." Qinjie loved Ni Yang very much. In the beginning she felt inferior and didn't dare to accept his feelings. But now she took care of him meticulously. The two of them really had a deep relationship. Ni Yang was very devoted. In the beginning he was slightly depressed, so Huamin treated him and made him more cheerful. Later, with Qinjie's care, he smiled more and more. Therefore, to Ni Yang, Qinjie was a very important person. "Don't think too much, it won't happen. What era are we in now? Idols don't have to hide their marriages anymore. Nowadays, celebrities use marriage and children to increase their popularity. The image of a good husband and father will be more accepted by the media and the public. Ni Yang isn't a kid anymore, he can handle this responsibility. Don't worry, we'll discuss what to do when he comes back." Huamin comforted Qinjie softly. She nodded. Huamin gave Qinjie the day off and asked her to leave the hospital through the side door. Then she went home. Ni Yang also had a simple phone call with Huamin. The gist of it was that he would be in the city tonight and would meet with Huamin. After all, he didn't know who to talk to about this kind of master. At noon, Huamin came back from lunch and saw Suyu at the door of his office. Suyu came alone. Chapter 2095. "Hi Dr. Hua. Vice Director Hua." Suyu liked to see Huamin in his white lab coat and black-rimmed glasses, so he greeted him with a warm smile. Although he looked a little stiff, he was extremely cute. He didn't look cold and arrogant like he usually did. Instead, he looked much more approachable. "President Su, you're a busy man. Why are you here?" Huamin smiled. Then the two entered the office one after the other. Huamin poured a glass of water for Suyu and placed it on the table. Suyu sat across from her. "I'm here to see you. I haven't come to see you since you came back to work." "So, you came to see your friend empty-handed? You're so stingy," Huamin joked. Empty-handed? Who said so? Am I such a stingy person? Here's a present for you. Su Yu magically took out a delicate little box from behind him. Huamin's eyes lit up when he saw it. Wow wow wow. Hairy crabs. Do you really know me? Huamin was pleasantly surprised. If Su Yu gave her something expensive she wouldn't accept it. However, food was an exception. Plus, it was her favorite crab. A few days ago a client came from Australia and brought me a lot of crabs. I think they're not bad. They're big and tasty. I thought you'd like them. Handsome Su, you know me too well. Huamin looked at the hairy crab gift like a child. She loved it so much that she couldn't put it down. So, you're not some high and mighty vice director. You're just a silly foodie, right? When Qin Chu pursued you, did you get him with a stick of candied haw? Su Yu asked jealously. How's that possible? Am I such a casual person? Can I agree to a stick of sugar-coated haws? I need at least 3 fingers. Huamin stretched out 3 fingers. Su Yu, all right, you win. 3 sticks of candied haws. Qin Chu really came at the right time. He really picked up a big bargain. Their opening remarks were particularly relaxed and funny, so the atmosphere wasn't as awkward as before. Actually, every time they met, Huamin was fine. He always felt like Su Yu was an old friend. As long as Su Yu didn't confess, the relationship between them wasn't that complicated. This time, after Qin Chu came back, Su Yu didn't mention anything about the two of them. She was no longer as close to her as before. She maintained a suitable distance so as not to make things difficult for Huamin. Therefore, Huamin was truly grateful to Su Yu for everything he had done for her. Milk Tea Lu Ring had a song called Love You So Much. There was a line in the song that went, if I returned to the position of a good friend, you wouldn't have to be in such a difficult position. I love you so much so I'm willing to let you fly to a happier place. I love you so much so I'll let you have love so that I can be at ease. Perhaps this was the portrayal of Su Yu's heart. Lord Su, thank you for the hairy crabs. I won't hold back. You know that I have no resistance to food, but back to the topic. You came to me today to talk about Enai Yang, right? Huamin took the initiative to bring it up. After all, Enai Yang was Su Yu's top artist. With such a big thing happening, there was no way Su Yu wouldn't care. Su Yu nodded. Yes, I was just about to talk to you about this. Do you have any good ideas on how to deal with it? Give me some advice, our crazy high IQ Dr. Hua. Chapter 2096. Why are you asking me about something this big? Huamin thought that Su Yu already had a plan and wouldn't be asking for her opinion. But now it seemed like that wasn't the case. Yeah, I trust you. So, Dr. Hua, please do me a favor. Su Yu smiled. There are so many people in Imperial Star's PR team. Why would I be needed? Lord Su, don't mess around. Huamin wasn't someone who liked to be in the limelight, so she still tried to evade Su Yu's request. Don't be so polite, we're already so close. Enai Yang is like a brother to you and Qin Jie is your assistant, so I have to discuss this with you. Hey, Lord Su, you're flattering me again. Let's put it this way, what do you mean? After all, you're the big boss of Enai Yang's company, so you have the most say in this. Me? Actually, it's hard to say. For a man, it's a question of who's more important. If Enai Yang announces his relationship, his fan base will drop a lot. A lot of girls have fantasies about their idols. If they know that their idols are in a relationship and are even getting married, they might not pay for his new movie or album. Enai Yang's career will definitely be affected. If Enai Yang doesn't want to lose fans and wants to stay popular for a few more years, then I think he should deny his relationship with Qin Jie. Then our company can release a statement and pretend to hold the person responsible. That way the matter will be suppressed. But if we do that, it might hurt the girl who is your assistant. After all, people will think that she's a scheming woman who wants to become famous. She might have a hard time in the future. It's all up to Enai Yang. No matter what he chooses, I'll respect him. After all, Imperial Star isn't a company that prioritizes profits. What do you think? After Su Yu spoke his mind, he asked Huamin for his opinion. Huamin listened quietly and nodded. I agree with what you said. It's perfect. Given the current situation, there are only 2 options. We can either go public or continue to hide it. But we can't make the decision. Let's wait for Enai Yang to come back. He said that he'll come to the city tonight to see me. Let's go together. We can talk about this. Okay, I'll have a meal with you. He was in a good mood. Huamin smiled, but didn't say anything. But if that's the case, won't your husband get jealous? Why don't we ask him to come too? Suyu was worried that Chin Chu would misunderstand. Huamin chuckled when he heard that. What are you laughing at? Suyu was confused. I'm laughing at you. You're thinking too much. My Mr. Chin wouldn't misunderstand me so easily. We've known each other for so many years. If we don't even have that much chemistry, how can we be husband and wife? When Huamin said this, a happy smile appeared on his face. It was a smile that came from the bottom of his heart and couldn't be faked. To be honest, Suyu was conflicted. On one hand, he wanted Huamin to be happy. He wanted them to be happy forever. On the other hand, he was jealous of Chin Chu. He knew Huamin when he was young and had her for the rest of her life, both now and in the future. For a married couple, the best relationship wasn't unforgettable. It wasn't asking about each other's well-being. It wasn't talking about love every day. However, it was using actions to prove their love and trust each other unconditionally. That was the rarest of all. I give up. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Suyu smiled slightly and didn't say anything else. After discussing this matter with Suyu left. He planned to discuss this matter with Ni Yang over dinner when he got here. Rumors about Ni Yang were still spreading outside. Qin Jia followed Huamin's instructions and didn't dare to leave the house. When she got off work that night, Chin Chu video called her. Hello, Mr. Chin. It's time to get off work. Do you want me to pick you up? Chin Chu asked gently. No, it's okay. I have a date tonight. A date? Dr. Hua, how dare you act so brazenly in front of your husband? Chin Chu pretended to be serious. Chapter 2097. Yeah, and I'm having dinner with Suyu. So, are we still going to live like this? Chin Chu smiled as he looked at Huamian. But we're getting divorced tomorrow. Pudding is mine and Little Bean is yours. Huamin began to separate. Why do you get pudding and I get Little Bean? Mr. Chin asked angrily. Because Little Bean eats too much. I'm worried that I won't be able to raise her. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, I'm going to record this video and show it to Little Bean. I'm going to show her mommy's true colors. Ahem. Don't do that, Little Bean is hard to appease. Mr. Chin, don't cause trouble. Huamin immediately stopped bragging. So, you're really just having dinner with Suyu tonight? As expected, Mr. Chin still cared about this. Yeah, so do you want to come or not? Huamin purposely tried to piss him off. Whatever, since you're going on a date, I'll go on a date too. I'm going to take 2 beautiful women out for steak. 2 peerless beauties? Huamian repeated. Yeah. Mr. Chin said proudly. Hey, you're itching for a beating, aren't you? So, you're saying that you're only allowed to do whatever you want but we're not allowed to do anything, right? Chin Chu retorted. Yeah, what do you think? You don't like it? Bite me. Huamin stuck out his tongue. Honey, when you're shameless, you're really scary. Mr. Chin complimented. Ha. Huamin laughed so hard that he couldn't stop laughing. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to pick up 2 beautiful women for dinner. Go. Tell them that mommy will be home late tonight, so be good. Huamin knew that the 2 beauties Chin Chu was talking about were Pudding and Little Bean. I'll tell them the truth and say that their mommy and Suyu are dating. Well, that's what happened. Oh, someone is still jealous. Right. I'm not having dinner with Suyu alone. Ni Yang will be back too. We'll discuss how to deal with Ni Yang's matter. That's more like it. I approve. Mr. Chin's tone was extremely domineering. You're pretending to be an emperor with me? Huamin snickered. How is it? Not convinced? That's right, I'm not convinced. Then why don't you bite me? Chin Chu immediately applied what he had learned. Just you wait. I'll bite you to death when I get home tonight. Huamin purposely opened his mouth wide to scare him. I'll leave bite marks all over my body. Those are marks of love. Honey, do you want to change into black stockings or something? It'll be even better with a whip in your hand. Huamin was speechless. You're a pervert. Mr. Chin's words were always full of hidden meanings. They were only talking about biting, but he forcefully changed the topic to stockings and a whip. Huamin was speechless. Honey, I'll wait for you at home tonight. I'll wash myself clean and wait for you. Bye. Then Mr. Chin playfully hung up the phone. Huamian was speechless. She didn't know if it was a blessing or a curse for her to have such a sophisticated and perverted husband at home. Young arrived in the city that night and immediately went to the hotel where they agreed to meet. Afraid that the media would follow them, they chose to meet at a private club owned by Tang Chuan's family. On the top floor of the club, Su Yu and Huamin arrived one after the other and were drinking tea. When Young arrived, Qinjie was behind him. He held her hand and they walked into the private room together. President Su, Sister Mian. Young greeted Qinjie. You're both here. Come and sit down. Su Yu waved his hand and beckoned them over. The four of them sat across from each other and the atmosphere was a little tense. President Su, I'm sorry. I was accidentally followed and photographed. I'm sorry for causing trouble for the company. Young lowered his head and apologized. Chapter 2098. Don't say that, it's not your fault. No matter how vigilant a celebrity is, they can't avoid the paparazzi. Now we need to talk about how to deal with this problem. Your sister Mian and I have discussed 2 plans, you can choose. Then Su Yu repeated what he said to Huamin in front of Young and Qinjie. After hearing what he said, Young replied without hesitation, President Su, I want to make our relationship public. No, it'll affect your career. I don't want to. President Su, don't make it public. Tell the PR team to write a statement saying that I used Young to create hype. I can't ruin his future. Qinjie's expression changed. She was scared out of her wits. She didn't want Yang's future to be ruined because of her. She would die of guilt if that happened. How can I do that? I can't let a girl bear so much pressure. Plus we're lovers. I've always wanted to make our relationship public. I've had enough of sneaking around. Why don't we just make it public? We're going to get married anyway. Young held Qinjie's hand even tighter. Qinjie, however, refused to agree. She shook her head with tears in her eyes. Sister Mian, please talk to him. I don't want him to do this for me. Qinjie was so anxious that she was about to cry. Huamian could empathize with his feelings of wanting the best for the other person. So she comforted Qinjie. Jia, don't worry. Young is an adult. I don't think he can hide it forever. If someone takes photos of you two, he'll lose all credibility. So I think it's a good thing that Young made your relationship public. It shows that he loves you more than his career. You should be happy that such a man loves you so much. I understand, but I still... Qinjie choked on her words. That's enough, Jia. Did you hear what Sister Mian said? It's really nothing. For me, fame, money, and status aren't the most important things. I told you that even if I quit the entertainment industry, the money I make will be enough for us to spend for the rest of our lives. So what are you worried about? Young raised his finger and touched Qinjie's nose lovingly. But I don't want to be a burden to you. Qinjie leaned her head on Yang's shoulder and cried. Silly girl, you didn't drag me down. I'm so happy now that I have you. My world is so warm. To Young, nothing was more important than the smile of his lover. Therefore, after this incident, he even considered quitting the entertainment industry. He didn't want to let Qinjie suffer any grievances. So, you're going to announce your relationship to the public, right? Su asked again. President Su, I'm sorry. I know I'm selfish and doing this might affect the company's interests, but I really can't let Jia suffer. She's been with me all this time and it's not been easy for her. Sometimes when I want to watch a movie with her, we have to sneak in. We'll go in after everyone else goes in and then we'll come out after everyone else comes out. She doesn't dare to post anything on her WeChat moments or post anything on my Weibo because she's afraid people will find out. This kind of relationship is too much for her. She's the girl I want to be with for the rest of my life, so I want to give her a status. I was planning to propose to her during my vacation this year, but now that this happened, I can go public. Young apologized to Su Yu first because he knew it was selfish of him to do this. However, judging from his attitude, it seemed like he was determined to go public with their relationship. Nothing was more important than Qinjie. Young, how can you be so stubborn? You've worked so hard all these years, you can't let it all fall apart because of me? Qinjie said anxiously. Compared to you, this is nothing. Young gently stroked Qinjie's bangs. So you two are here to flaunt your love, right? You want to torture a single dog like me? Su asked out of the blue. Huamin almost burst out laughing when he heard this. Chapter 2099. President Su, that's not what I meant. Young said awkwardly. Qinjie quickly looked up, wiped her tears and explained, President Su, don't misunderstand. I just don't want him to do that for me. But he's not that stubborn. It was understandable for two young couples in love to be considerate of each other. I understand you don't have to explain. Since this is Ni Yang's idea, then let's do it. You don't have to worry about the company. Imperial Star doesn't need that money. Don't worry, you can make up your mind, Suyu said calmly as if he had already predicted Ni Yang's decision. Ni Yang and Chen Jie had been dating for 3 or 4 years. Their relationship had always been stable and they had never even fought. Ni Yang had a history of depression, so Chen Jie took care of him very carefully and treated him very well. Then she would never feel wronged. Such a girl was low-key, gentle, and virtuous. Huamin thought that she was perfect for Ni Yang's personality and career. It would be Ni Yang's bad luck if his girlfriend was an immature girl with princess syndrome. President Su, I'm so sorry. Ni Yang still felt sorry for Suyu. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's eat. Suyu turned around and said, Waiter, bring the food. Just like that, the 4 of them quickly decided on how to deal with the situation. An hour later, the 4 of them finished eating and left the private club. Ni Yang posted on Weibo, and the photo below it was the one that the paparazzi had taken. Ni Yang added, Yes, I'm in love. She's a really good girl. If you really love me, don't hurt her or harass her. Thank you. It was a simple sentence, but it caused an uproar and immediately became one of the most searched topics on Weibo. Then all the headlines changed to, Superstar Ni Yang admits his girlfriend is an outsider. Ni Yang's Weibo post was also forwarded by some of his friends in the industry. Even the female artists in the same company as him were trying to gain some popularity. Jian Tong also reposted the post and said hypocritically, Little brother Ni Yang, I wish you all the best. I hope you two will always be happy. Although his friends in the industry approved of him, his fans were very extreme. Perhaps someone had deliberately paid the internet water army to maliciously smear Ni Yang's reputation. So many fans were cursing and even spreading rumors under Ni Yang's Weibo. What superstar idol? He's just a sissy. This girlfriend is fake, right? She's just cannon fodder. Don't you like men? Liar, big liar. How can you have a girlfriend, woo? Ni Yang oppa, that slut doesn't deserve you. Come into my arms. Ni Yang's Weibo post was flipped upside down. Within an hour, it had been forwarded 200,000 times, liked 280,000 times, and commented on over 300,000 times. This was unprecedented. At least of all the posts Ni Yang had made, none of them had been so controversial. When Huamin drove home, the twins were still awake. They were downstairs in their nightgowns playing checkers with Qin Chu. The 2 sisters sat on one side. Qin Chu sat on the other side, while Qin Ning ordered her brother around while eating fruit. Auntie, you're a real gentleman. Little Bean looked up, clearly dissatisfied. I'm sorry, Qin Mumu, but I'm not a gentleman, I'm a girl. Qin Ning deliberately argued with Little Bean. Only girls and villains are difficult to deal with. Little Bean retorted. You're even scolding yourself? You and Little Bean are girls too? Qin Ning burst into laughter. No, we're girls. And we're still young. Little Bean argued. So, Little Bean, do you include Mommy in your words? Mommy is a girl too. Huamin took off his jacket and interrupted with a smile. Chapter 2100. How can that be? Mommy isn't a girl. Little Bean immediately responded. Then what's Mommy? Huamin felt awkward when he heard this. Haha, you're saying Mommy isn't a girl but a man? Look at you, Little Bean. Qin Ning gloated at Little Bean's predicament. No, Mommy's a young married woman, so she's not a girl. Auntie isn't married yet, so she's a girl. Little Bean explained. Young married woman. Okay, Little Bean, your definition of Mommy is very accurate. Huamin was speechless. How could a 3-year-old kid know the word young married woman? How evil. Someone's back from a date? Qin Chu looked up at Huamin with a smile. Yeah, how did it go? Great, we've reached a consensus. Didn't you see the news? Hey guys. Ni Yang announced his relationship. Good job, Uncle Ni Yang. You're a good man to your girlfriend. Pudding, who had been silent the whole time, commented as she played chess like a little adult. Yeah, Uncle Jishin, you're right. You just lack courage. If you want to date Auntie Bella, then go ahead and date her. Don't be so shy, you're not a man. Little Bean complained. Kids shouldn't meddle in adult business. Go to bed, it's already past 10 a.m. Huamin looked at his phone and saw that it was already past 10 a.m. Daddy, you lost again. Pudding said calmly. Okay, Little Bean, what do you want this time? Chin Chu seemed to have prepared himself for this. I want $1 million from Daddy. $. Pudding said, and everyone was confused. Sis, are you crazy? Didn't I tell you to take it little by little? You'll scare Daddy. Little Bean reminded Pudding. Pudding, are you trying to rob your father? This isn't a game of chess, this is robbery. Qin Ning was speechless. So, Pudding, can you tell me why you need so much money? Huamin walked over and sat beside Pudding. Huamin couldn't remain calm when his 3-year-old daughter suddenly asked for $1 million. Can I not tell you? Pudding asked mysteriously. Huamin, Qin Ning, you don't have to say it, baby. Daddy just promised you one thing if you lose. So I will definitely keep my promise. After speaking, Qin Chu took out his phone. Can I transfer my bank card to you? Honey, are you really going to give her that much money? Huamin pursed her lips. Of course we can't lie to our children. We have to do what we say. Pudding was willful and greedy, and Qin Chu was even more willful. Huamian was also at a loss. Bro, you're so nice. In my next life I hope to be reborn into your family. Qin Ning said enviously. I don't want such a worrisome daughter like you. Qin Chu retorted. Qin Ning. At this moment a notification sound rang out. The money has been transferred, baby. Check it. I don't need to check, I trust Daddy. Hey, let's call it a day. I'm a little tired, I'm going to bed. Pudding stood up proudly and yawned. Little Bean followed behind her and asked, Sis, do you want a massage? You've been sitting all night and you're tired. Sure, how about a massage here? Pudding pointed at her left shoulder. Then she walked upstairs as she spoke. Sis, you just won $1 million, how do you feel right now? Little Bean asked as she walked. I regret asking for less. After Pudding said this, Huamin and Qin Ning almost fell to the ground. Mr. Qin, on the other hand, was very calm. He even said a little proudly, Pudding really does look like me when I was young. The conversation between the two sisters made the adults burst out laughing. They thought that Ni Yang's incident was over, but who knew that something big would happen that night? At 11:30 p.m., Huamin received a WeChat voice message from Su Yu. Huamin, are you asleep? Chapter 2101. By this time Huamin had already fallen asleep due to exhaustion. Qin Chu picked up her phone and sent a text message to Su Yu. She's already asleep. Su Yu was a little embarrassed as he was afraid to disturb the couple. Qin Chu followed Su Yu's instructions and read the news. Sure enough, there was a new development in Ni Yang's matter. Because Ni Yang was a very popular superstar, even the slightest bit of news about him would attract a lot of attention. Originally, they thought that with Su Yu's acquiescence, Ni Yang's public announcement of their relationship would calm the storm. Unexpectedly that night, someone posted on a well-known forum, revealing Ni Yang's family background. His parents' scandal: his mother had a child with another man and was indecent. Ni Yang was a hooligan when he was young. He was extremely bad, had a lot of bad records, and was uneducated. Qin Chu knew about Huamin's feelings for Ni Yang, so he frowned after reading the news. How do you plan to deal with this matter? Qin Chu typed to Su Yu, still using Huamin's WeChat. We didn't want things to turn out this way. Currently, I can only ask the company to release a PR statement, to clarify that someone is spreading rumors, and then send a lawyer's letter or something. As for the follow-up, we'll see how things develop. Okay, let the company release it first. When she wakes up tomorrow, I'll let her know, Qin Chu replied. Okay. Su Yu was too embarrassed to say more. The next morning, when Huamin woke up in the morning, Qin Chu told her about the matter. Huamin immediately turned on her phone and scrolled through the chat history between the two men. After learning about the matter, her face turned cold. Honey, what are you thinking about? Qin Chu asked. I'm thinking that this definitely wasn't a coincidence, and that the paparazzi didn't purposely dig deeper into Ni Yang's past. Someone did it on purpose. Ni Yang has an enemy? Qin Chu raised his eyebrows. Sometimes in the entertainment industry, it's not as simple as having an enemy. Once someone's interests are involved, things can become complicated and confusing. Huamin's words were very vague. What do you plan to do now? I think it's time for me to meet someone and talk to her, Huamian said calmly. Looking at her eyes, Qin Chu guessed who she was. Can I go with you? Chin Chu volunteered. Huamin hugged his broad shoulders coquettishly. Hey, you don't have to do this yourself. I can handle it myself. Don't worry, trust your wife. Okay, if you run into any trouble, call me immediately. Okay, I'll head out now. I have an early meeting in the morning. You haven't eaten yet? Chin Chu frowned. I don't have time to eat. Huamin got up, washed up, and began to clean up. When she was done, she saw a small sandwich and a carton of milk on the table. My husband is getting warmer and warmer. Huamin happily ate her breakfast and left in a hurry. At the breakfast table, only the twins, Chin Ning and Chin Chu, were left. Daddy, have you ever thought that letting Mommy go back to Southside was a bad decision? Pudding looked at Chin Chu as she ate her breakfast. Baby, why do you say that? Chin Chu looked up at his eldest daughter curiously. Chapter 2102. It's because I realized that President Hua is even busier now that he's Dr. Hua. He used to spend weekends with us, but now he's either having surgeries or morning meetings. Pudding complained. Little Bean said, Sis, I'm not what you think. I'm the exact opposite. It's good that Mommy's busy. Otherwise, she'll be bored all day and we won't be able to handle it. So it's a good thing that Mommy has something to do. Daddy, you're doing the right thing. Chin Chu. Ha, big bro, your kids are amazing. They're already planning their parents' careers. Okay girls, Daddy understands what you mean. So, can I explain now? Chin Chu slowly took a sip of milk. The twins looked at their father seriously, waiting for him to continue. Daddy loves your mommy very much. Chin Chu said. You don't have to emphasize this over and over again. After all, everyone on Earth knows. This time even Little Bean was proud. Ahem. Hey, let's get to the point. I love her, so I'll always support her decisions. I want her to do what she likes, whether it's a high-class job or a low-class job. As long as she likes it, I'm willing to let her do it. Your mommy's dream when she was young was to be a doctor, and that hasn't changed. Daddy's dream when he was young was to fulfill your mommy's dream. Letting her live her life the way she likes is the proudest thing in my life. Chin Chu said seriously, even though he was talking to kids. Even Chin Ning's eyes were brimming with tears. Hey, why didn't I meet a man as good as you when I was young? He loves me as much as you love sis-in-law. Chin Ning said enviously. Hey Daddy, you win. Mommy is a priceless treasure in your eyes. Pudding shrugged helplessly. That's right. Mommy is definitely more important than us in Daddy's heart, Little Bean added. No, don't say that. You two are as important to Daddy as your mommy, Chin Chu emphasized. He didn't want his daughters to get jealous. If that's the case, then we're still at a disadvantage. Little Bean pouted. Why? Chin Ning looked at her niece curiously. Because we're two people and Mommy is one person. So we're only as important as Mommy. So we're still at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. Chin Chu. Pudding reached out her hand and pinched Little Bean's little cheeks. So, sis, can you buy me a car full of Haagen-Dazs? Little Bean licked her lips. Foodie, can you be a little more ambitious? Pudding was exasperated at Huamian's failure to live up to her expectations. No, I don't need to be ambitious. Because three of us are financially savvy and know how to make money. I only need to know how to spend money. If I run out of money, I can just say, Mommy, Daddy, sis. I'm broke again, so don't waste my time. Just give me the money. Little Bean said as she gestured with her chubby little hands. Little Bean's words made Chin Ning and Chin Chu laugh. Chapter 2103. Big brother, I realized that the smartest person in your family isn't you, sis-in-law or Pudding. It's this little foodie. She's so shrewd, pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. She doesn't even have to worry about how to make money, she can just order the three of you around and enjoy herself. Perfect. Chin Ning gave Little Bean a thumbs up. Okay, it's about time for me to go to work. Ning Ning, do you have any plans today? Chin Chu looked at Chin Ning and asked. We're going to the amusement park. I promised to take them to the merry-go-round and eat pizza. Oh. Remember to bring enough bodyguards. Be careful here, Chin Chu reminded her. Then Chin Chu looked at Pudding worriedly. Pudding, don't be reckless this time. You have to stay close to Auntie and the bodyguards. I know, Daddy. I won't run around. After giving his instructions, Chin Chu walked out of the room relieved. On his way back, his phone rang. He put on his Bluetooth headset and answered the call. Did anything happen with Hua Xiqian? Qin Chu asked. President Qin, nothing happened. It's very quiet. That's strange. He was played by Mo Schwecker like this and yet he didn't do anything. It's not like him. Keep a close eye on him and let me know if anything happens, Qin Chu said cautiously. Hey President Qin. Don't worry, we'll keep a close eye on him. Qin Chu had been keeping a close eye on Hu Xiqian and was thinking of ways to lure him into a trap. Now that Mo Schwecker was involved, things became more complicated. This wasn't a good thing for Qin Chu. It wasn't good to alert the enemy. Now that Hu Xiqian was being more careful, Qin Chu couldn't do anything to him. At Southside, Qin Chu was worried that Ni Yang's depression would relapse because of the stress. In the morning, Huamin asked Qin Jia and Ni Yang to leave the city and take an early flight to Bali for vacation. After talking to Suyu on the phone, Huamin was even more certain that the mastermind behind the defamation of Ni Yang was that person. He planned to meet that person in person and have a good talk with her. However, just as he was about to leave, his phone suddenly rang. It was a string of unfamiliar numbers with an English logo. The phone rang for a long time before Huamin slowly picked it up. Then he said warily, "Hello? It's me." Huamin immediately felt a little excited when he called her sister. Yen. Huamin was overjoyed. He hadn't heard from Lu Yen for a long time after their hasty farewell. "Yeah, I miss you, so I called you secretly. But it won't be long. I'm afraid someone will follow me," Lu Yen said cautiously. "Little Yen, are you still in the Golden Triangle? Are you hurt? Are you in danger?" Huamin knew that time was of the essence, so he kept asking questions. "Calm down sis, I'm fine. I left the Golden Triangle a long time ago. I also went to Vietnam and took out the Vietnamese gang's nest. Unfortunately, I didn't find Xinjiani. But I'm still asking people to track her down. Don't worry. Don't. It's okay if you can't find her. It's Huasi who hurt us, not Xinjiani." Huamin's thoughts were simpler. "Just leave it to me. Don't worry. Where are you now? Are you safe?" Huamin was very worried about Lu Yan's situation. Ever since he found out that she was the world's most wanted criminal, he was worried sick about her. "I'm in Russia with Psycho Chiao. Don't worry, I'm safe." "That's good." Huamin nodded in relief. "Sis, it's almost Chinese New Year. I actually have a crazy idea," Lu Yan said mysteriously. "What idea?" Huamin asked curiously, not knowing what Lu Yan was thinking. Chapter 2104. I want to convince Dad to spend New Year's with you guys. Lu Yan's idea was crazy enough that even Huamin was shocked by it. "Are you surprised?" Lu Yan asked with a smile. "I'm surprised too. If I could spend New Year's with you and Dad, that would be my greatest wish, right?" Ever since Huamin found out that he still had family in this world, he felt warmth in his heart. He also looked forward to it, especially when he remembered the old man who gave him balloons at Disneyland. Lu Yan knew that she shouldn't expose her identity, but she still appeared at the critical moment and saved Qin Chu from the tragedy of choosing between her and Little Bean. Huamin had never thought that he would have such a strong sister. At the same time, he felt sorry for Lu Yan. If she had a choice, she wouldn't want to live her life on the edge of a knife. After all, for a young and beautiful girl in her 20s, a peaceful life with family and friends was the most important thing. Therefore, Huamin sincerely hoped that Lu Yan could change her lifestyle and live a peaceful life. However, he knew that this wasn't something that could be done easily. "I have to think of a way to deal with this. I'm fine with it, but I'm afraid that Dad won't agree and won't come. That psycho Ian just wants to catch me out of interest, but he's been wanting to catch Dad for many years. Dad doesn't want to drag you guys into this, so he might not come. It's just a thought sis, don't get your hopes up. I understand, Yen. I understand. Ian wants to catch Daddy because Daddy has something he wants, right? Smart, that's it. Then you have to tell Dad to be careful," Huamin said worriedly. "No problem, don't worry. Dad's tough, even tougher than me. Don't worry about us, take good care of the twins. Also, you have to be careful with Hu Xiqian. My brother-in-law probably told you about his relationship with Ian." "Yeah, he did." Huamin nodded. "I'm sure he still has some feelings for you. Otherwise, he wouldn't have known about our relationship all these years without telling Ian. So, I'm grateful to Hu Xiqian. He even helped Dad hide the truth about what happened in Dongtao Town. It's not easy to hide your identity from Ian for so many years." Huamin didn't say anything. He knew what Lu's meaning. If it was before, he wouldn't admit that Hu Xiqian had feelings for him. He would only say that Huasiqian was a psycho and that he was a thief. However, after being kidnapped by Huasi last time, Huamian was well aware of Huasiqian's behavior. Huasiqian was a selfish person, but he risked his life several times to provoke Huasi so that Huamian wouldn't get hurt. If it were Qin Chu or Su Yu, it wouldn't be strange because they were men who valued relationships. However, when it came to someone as selfish as Huasiqian who put his own interests above all else, it was unheard of. That was why Huamin was a little soft-hearted and didn't let Qin Chu do anything to Huasiqian. She knew that if Huasiqian didn't die, he would be a big problem for her in the future. But at that moment Huasiqian was beaten into a bloody pulp. Huamin couldn't bear to see him die. She didn't care if people called her a saint or a white lotus. But at that moment she couldn't bear to see Huasiqian die in front of her. Maybe this was Huamin's unique kindness. Your brother-in-law has already started investigating Huasiqian. We won't let go of what he did to us. He has to pay for what he did to us. We just want to defeat him fair and square. Chapter 2105. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's very Qin Chu. Lu Yan chuckled. I heard from him that you guys met once in Russia. Huamin chuckled as they talked about the past. Yeah, it was when I operated on Psycho Qiao. My brother-in-law is a miracle doctor. His skills are as good as our dad's. It's just that he's too cold. Oh my god, only you can stand it. Psycho Qiao doesn't like to talk, but he's not that cold and arrogant. Oh no, it's about time. Sis, there's a tracking signal, I'm hanging up. Take care of yourself. Then before Huamin could say anything, Lu Yan hung up. When she picked up her phone to check Lu Yan's number, she found that the number had been erased. There was no trace of it, as if the call had never been made. It seemed like Yan was very cautious. After hanging up, Huamin remembered that he still had to do something for Ni Yang. After making an appointment with that person, he met her at one of the 13 cafes on the pedestrian street. Maybe it was because he hadn't seen Huamin in a while, but the manager was surprised. President Hu, why didn't you tell me you were coming? It's okay, you guys go ahead. I have something to discuss with someone here. What would you like to drink? I need someone to prepare it for you. The manager was flattered and asked carefully. Blue Mountain coffee. Huamin walked to a secluded corner and sat down. Ingzi came in not long after Huamin sat down. After entering, she saw Huamin waving at her and walked over. President Hu, long time no see. Ingzi took off her sunglasses and smiled coldly. Have a seat. What would you like to drink? Huamin asked. Cappuccino is ready, Ingzi said. Huamin waved his hand and called the waiter over. Give her a cappuccino. Yes, President Hu. Tell me, why are you looking for me? Let's not beat around the bush. After all, everyone's time is precious and busy, right? Ingzi said arrogantly. Ever since Ni Yang went to Imperial Star and terminated his contract with her, the two of them had fallen out. At first, Ingzi worked under Huasiqian. Later on, she was not put in an important position and did not have many artists under her, so she decided to open her own studio. The models she trained were all wild models. In private, there were rumors in the circle that her models took on some peripheral business. It was similar to the Ocean and Sky banquet that happened a few years ago, so Ingzi's reputation in the circle was getting worse. No well-known director or actor was willing to work with her, and her connections were of no use in this realistic society. You're really busy. You're busy trying to smear Ni Yang's reputation, right? Huamin sneered at Ingzi. President Hu, you're so funny. Don't put the blame on me. Ni Yang is a superstar now and I'm just a has-been agent. We're not even on the same level. Ingzi chuckled. You know I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm just curious, what's your intention in smearing Ni Yang's reputation after so long? Huamin said calmly. President Hu, you can eat whatever you want but you can't say whatever you want. You can't just fall out with Ni Yang because of my history with him. Now that Ni Yang is in trouble, you're trying to frame me. You're a famous person, so don't be so stupid, okay? Ingzi seemed to have come prepared, so she did not admit to anything. Chapter 2106. Huamin wasn't in a hurry. He took a sip of his coffee and slowly said, when Ni Yang was suffering from depression, you immediately took him to the doctor. To this day he and his family are still very grateful for what you did. Plus, you pulled him out of his depression. I don't want to thank you for your kindness, But you should be grateful that Ni Young has been by your side for the past few years. He listened to almost everything you said. Sometimes when he wasn't feeling well he would still run commercials and record shows for you. The only thing he didn't discuss with you was the signing of GK. I know you don't have high hopes for GK. Although GK isn't in the entertainment industry anymore, Ni Yang's talent hasn't been buried. President Su of Imperial Star gave him a better platform. But for the sake of Hua Xiqian's temporary benefits, you didn't care about his choice. You even framed Qin Jia and tried to drive a wedge between them. All these years I always thought you and Ni Young were family. Even Ni Young himself thought so. But that's not the case. To you he's just a money tree. You can do whatever you want when you're making money, but as soon as he doesn't listen to you or threatens your interests you're heartless. Ingzi, we're both women, how can you be so heartless? Even if you raised a dog for many years, you'd still have feelings for it. You wouldn't harm it just because it ran away from home, right? How could you do that? Huamin coldly pointed at Ingzi's actions. First he played the sympathy card, then he began to accuse and question her. President Hua sure has a vivid imagination. Ingzi seemed unwilling to admit it. You don't have to deny it. Other than you I can't think of anyone else who would do something like this. Maybe the paparazzi really did something to expose their relationship. But the way you smeared his name didn't give him a chance to recover and even exposed his past and 8 generations of ancestors. Other than you I really can't think of anyone else who would do something like this. Huamin was almost certain that Ingzi was behind this. After hearing Huamin's words, Ingzi raised her chin provocatively. So what if I did do it? Isn't it the truth? It's true that he cheated on me, didn't listen to me and was with that little nurse. His parents' scandal, his mother's illegitimate son, and the ridiculous things he did when he was young, they're all true. I didn't smear his name. But as the person he once trusted the most, taking out these things is equivalent to rubbing salt on his wound. Moreover, you're doing this at such a sensitive time. Aren't you trying to ruin him? Huamin was furious. Looking at Ingzi's smug face, he couldn't wait to stand up and give her 2 tight slaps. So what if he's ruined? I'm the one who created him. If I can support him then I can also destroy him. Didn't you say that you were like his sister? Then why don't you come and save him? Aren't you a godlike existence with a high IQ? Ingzi asked as she looked at Huamin with disdain. You're right. Ni Young is like my brother. He's like family to me. I won't sit back and do nothing, then go save him. Why are you looking for me? Ingzi raised her coffee proudly. Tell me, what do I have to do for you to let go? Let go of Ni Young? Huamin took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. Chapter 2107. Oh, you're enlightened already? President Hua. I thought you were going to scare me, threaten me, blacklist me, or make it impossible for me to survive in the industry. Ingzi looked up at Huamin and laughed. No, you're not doing this to destroy Ni Young. You're doing this because you want to use this opportunity to get what you want. So, just state your conditions. I can make any decision for Ni Young. Of course, these conditions have to be within the range of what we can accept and don't go too far. If that's the case, then I won't hold back, President Hua. After speaking, Ingzi raised her index finger and gestured at Huamin. 10 million? Huamin asked. 10 million. Do you think I'm a beggar? Ni Yang's next endorsement deal is worth more than 10 million. I'm talking about 100 million. 100 million? You're asking for too much. Huamin looked at Ingzi with a serious expression on his face. President Hua, you're exaggerating. This amount of money is nothing to rich people like you. GK's quarterly turnover is in the billions. And Ni Yang's annual business value is more than 100 million yuan. President Su made money, you made money, and Ni Yang received a lot of money. I used to be a talent scout, but my career is now at a low point, so it's only right for me to give you some money. As the saying goes, if you take someone's money you have to take care of them. I think President Hua is a smart person and would like to settle this peacefully, right? That's right, I don't want this to get out of hand. The truth is Ni Yang's business is small and he doesn't care about these things. I'm just worried that public opinion will cause his depression to relapse. You don't care about his life and instead, you use such a vicious move to force him into a dead end. You're really something else. When Huamin scolded someone he didn't need to use any vulgarities to scold them. Unfortunately, Ingzi only smiled after hearing that. Long time no see, President Hua, you're still as eloquent as ever. But there's no point in saying all this. Even if you curse my ancestors today, I'll still say the same thing. Not a cent less. If you're not willing to pay, then I'll continue to expose you. As for how things will turn out, it's hard to say. But I'm barefooted right now, so I'm not afraid of you wearing shoes. So, President Hua, think about it yourself. My time is precious, so I won't waste my breath on you. Thank you for the coffee, President Hua. Contact me when you've made up your mind. That's all. With that, Ingzi stood up, picked up her bag and left. Huamin's expression was gloomy. People always said that actresses were heartless and prostitutes were heartless. Huamian used to think that Mo Schwerer and Song Yisher were already heartless. But now that he saw Ingzi, he finally knew what a real whore was. In her eyes, money was more important than anything else. She didn't care about her parents. If Huamin remembered correctly, when they had a falling out, Ai Yang had given Ingzi a large sum of money to terminate her contract. It could be said that she had nurtured herself over the years. Later, after she jumped ship from Huasiqian, she couldn't find an artist to work with. So Ai Yang used his connections to help her without telling her. However, not only did she not care about their old relationship, she even used the things that Ai Yang trusted her the most and told her as a bargaining chip to slander him. People like her were extremely hateful. What kind of fucking world is this? For the first time, Huamin felt like he had met an ungrateful and vicious bitch. As she walked out of the cafe, she cursed and slammed her steering wheel in anger. After she walked out of the cafe, she called Su Yu and briefly explained the situation to him. Huamin, what do you want to do? Su Yu asked in a serious tone, asking for Huamin's opinion. Chapter 2108. What do you think? Huamin asked Su Yu tentatively. I'll listen to you. Because of your relationship with Ai Yang, I have to take your feelings into consideration. I can't treat him like other artists, so I'm being extra careful, Su Yu said seriously. Huamin felt as if there was a big stone pressing down on his heart. Actually, 100 million isn't a lot. It doesn't matter if you pay for it or I pay for it. You want to give her money? But even if you do, Imperial Star will pay for it. You don't have to. Su Yu immediately dismissed Huamin's idea of paying for it. No, I won't. It's not a matter of money now. It's her indifference to Ai Yang that makes me angry and disappointed. I think so too. A woman like her is actually quite scary. If you give her money, can't you guarantee that she won't continue to blackmail you? She'll be a bottomless pit that will never end. I don't recommend paying for it either. Su Yu was relieved when he heard Huamin say that he wouldn't pay for it. The problem wasn't money but Ai Yang's attitude. As a big shot in the entertainment industry, Su Yu's style of doing things had always been decisive and domineering. Therefore, it was Lord Su's style to settle things peacefully with money. So, I already have a plan. What plan? After Huamin and Su Yu finished talking, Su Yu couldn't help but praise Huamin. Our Dr. Hua's little brain is so smart. When I'm drunk, I don't listen to walls, I only listen to you. I'll give you a thumbs up. Okay, don't talk nonsense. I still need you to cooperate with me. No problem. What do you need me to do? Just say the word. Su Yu answered without hesitation. I'm going to South Side in a bit. There's an important conference there. When I get home from work and organize everything, I'll release the information. When the time comes, you can work with a few media outlets to promote it. Oh right, we have to buy the internet water army too. We can't allow that bitch to do as she pleases and distort right and wrong. We can't play dirty, understood? President Hua is mighty and domineering. I'll do as you say. Don't talk nonsense with me. After I'm done with this week, I'm planning to take the twins to visit Lord Su this weekend. Grandpa won't be home for a while. It's the end of the year and there will be a lot of meetings in Jing City. But if you come, we'll welcome you. My parents miss pudding and little bean. Well, it's not a bad idea to visit uncle and auntie. By the way, is Tang Chuan pursuing my sister-in-law? Huamin did not forget to gossip. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that guy recently. Su Yu was a little confused. Okay, I'll ask her later. But between you and Ning. Before Huamin could finish his sentence, Su Yu immediately interrupted. Oh right, I have to go now. I have to meet with a client. Bye. Huamin knew that Su Yu didn't want to talk about Qin Ning, so he found an excuse to leave. Inside the Hua mansion, ever since Huasiqian was released from prison, the Hua Corporation had suffered a lot of losses. He didn't go to work for a few days straight and only held video conferences at home. In the evening, Hua Xiqian was practicing calligraphy in his study. Boss, are we just going to let it go? That bitch Imo Shuiga put you in jail and caused us to lose so much money. She's fine, but she deliberately said that her condition was serious and that she was hospitalized at Southside to frame you. How can we let this go? Everyone wants to avenge you, Hua Xiqian's right-hand man said unwillingly as he stood behind him. Chapter 2109. Upon hearing this, Hua Xiqian paused for a moment before putting down the brush in his hand. Do you guys know what makes me so happy? Hua Xiqian asked without turning his head, his hands behind his back. His subordinates didn't know what their boss was thinking, so they didn't dare to say anything. I don't know, please enlighten us. It's when you're playing a game of cat and mouse, slowly enjoying the process. The most satisfying part isn't when you catch the mouse and kill it. It's when the fear in her heart is infinitely magnified during the chase. Hua Xiqian's subordinates were confused. They really didn't understand what their boss was thinking. Wasn't he supposed to take revenge on whoever he had a grudge against? Is Imo Schweger still hospitalized at Southside? Hua Xiqian asked. Yeah, she's still hospitalized and she's doing interviews every day. She's very high profile. It seems like she's planning to make a comeback. There's a rumor going around that she's joining Tianxin Media for 80 million yuan. They say that Mr. Xiang pulled the strings for her. I wonder if that's true? Yeah. Hua Xiqian nodded, then looked down at his watch. It was only 7 o'clock, so it wasn't too late. He turned around and said to his subordinates, "Get the car ready, I'm going to Southside to see her." Boss, she's at the center of the storm right now? Hugo. I'm afraid it's not convenient for you to go, right? His subordinates were a little flustered. They didn't know what their boss was up to. It's fine, get the car ready. Hua Xiqian didn't lose his temper the entire time and his tone was very calm. When Hua Xiqian arrived at the hospital with a bouquet of red roses, everyone at Southside was shocked. Imo Schweier's bodyguards panicked. Hua Xiqian is here. Imo Schweier's agent was also dumbfounded as she rushed in to report. What's he doing here? Imo Schweger was originally lying down and playing with her phone, but when she heard what her agent said, she immediately got up. She also looked a little flustered. I don't know. He only brought one bodyguard with him and he's holding a bunch of red roses. He's just outside the ward. Do you want him to come in? Let him in. I don't think he can do anything to me in a public place like this. Imo Schweger was still reluctant to part with Hua Xiqian. Therefore, even if they had become enemies, she was still willing to see him. This was what women couldn't bear to see. Miss Imo means to let Mr. Hua in. All of you get out of the way. The manager ordered the bodyguards to leave. Hua Xiqian walked in with 99 roses in his hands. He walked straight to Imo Schweger's bed. President Hua, you're so elegant. Although Imo Schweger was wearing a hospital gown, she had put on a lot of makeup. She was dressed exquisitely and coquettishly as usual, not at all like a patient. Looking at the situation, it was clear that her injuries were not serious. In other words, she was not injured at all. Hua Xiqian smiled as he placed the flowers beside Imo Schweger's bed. Then he looked at her affectionately. What do you think? Do you feel better? This gaze made Imo Schweger feel as if a lifetime had passed. In the depths of her memory, Hua Xiqian had only looked at her this way when they first got together. At that moment she fell into a daze again. Ahem. Schwerer, President Hua is talking to you, her agent reminded her. Oi. You can leave first. I want to talk to President Hua alone. Imo Schweger snapped back to reality and said to her agent. Chapter 2110. Imo Schweger's manager was worried about Imo Schweger's safety. Get out, I'm fine, Imo Schweger emphasized before her manager slowly left the room. Suddenly, only Hua Xiqian and Imo Schweger were left in the luxurious VIP room. You actually hate me, don't you? Imo Schweger felt guilty and didn't dare to look into Hua Xiqian's eyes. She had a lot of insults in her heart, but when she saw Hua Xiqian in person she couldn't bring herself to say them. Why would I hate you? Hua Xiqian pulled a chair over and sat down. He picked up an orange from the table and carefully peeled it. Because I made you suffer a great loss and your reputation is at stake. I also caused such a huge commotion and caused you to go to the police station. So, you probably want to kill me, right? Emo Schwerer bit her lip and enunciated each word clearly. Hua Xiqian wasn't in a hurry to answer. Instead he broke off a small piece of the peeled orange and fed it to Emo Shui. Here, have some oranges. His tone was surprisingly gentle. Emo Schweger froze again. What are you waiting for? Don't you love oranges the most? It should be very sweet in this season. Hua Xiqian put a piece of orange into Emo Schweger's mouth and then ate one himself. The two of them didn't look like enemies at all. They looked more like a couple. When Hua Xiqian put another piece of orange into Emo Schweger's mouth, she finally couldn't take it anymore. Hua Xiqian, don't fucking play this game with me. You can kill me with a nod of your head. What do you want? Emo Schweger finally lost it. She slapped Hua Xiqian's hand away and the oranges scattered all over the hospital bed. She looked extremely pathetic. Hua Xiqian looked at Emo Schweger with a half-smile. Look, you're still so hot-tempered. Didn't I tell you that you have to be calm and collected? You won't be able to learn that. Are you reminding me to learn Huamin? I'm telling you I won't be able to do it. Huamin is Huamin and I'm me. I don't want to imitate anyone and I won't do it on purpose. Even if I did, you wouldn't like me. I know that. Emo Schweger was a little emotional. She was really jealous of Huamin. Huamin's calmness and quick-wittedness were things she would never be able to learn. Especially in the face of a major event, that kind of extraordinary calmness. She believed that this was not something she learned but rather it was her nature. I'm not asking you to be like Mion. I'm just talking about your personality. Schwer, you've been by my side for many years. I've watched you grow from an ordinary little girl to a movie star. So I should be thanking you, right? But now I'm biting the hand that feeds me. Emo Schweger laughed viciously. No, you don't have anything to thank me for. You sacrificed your youth as well. I always thought that we were even and that we didn't owe each other anything. All these years I made you famous and you stayed by my side. I always thought that we would break up peacefully. I never thought that you would go to such extremes. Hua Xiqian calmly explained. We don't owe each other anything. Hua Xiqian, that's easy for you to say. Let me tell you, we'll never be even. You owe me a life, don't you know that? My child. My poor unborn child. You didn't even give him a chance to come into this world. But Huamin was pregnant with someone else's child, and you watched her give birth to it. You even treated the twins as if they were your own. Do you even have a conscience? Are you cold-blooded? Emo Schweger was still brooding over that child. Chapter 21:11. Especially in the past few years her body was riddled with wounds, and the doctor said that her chances of getting pregnant again were slim. Huamin, on the other hand, gave birth to a pair of adorable twins. How unfair was that? Schwerer, I always thought that you were a smart person but you always do stupid things. You always compare yourself to Mion, but are you even comparable? You only see what Mion has now but you don't know what she went through. You don't even know what she went through. So, I think that your envy, jealousy and hatred are all blind. Even if Mion didn't exist, I still wouldn't have married you. You might have forgotten what I said to you when we first touched. Hua Xiqian reminded her. Emo Schwerer's mind seemed to go back to many years ago, when she met Hua Xiqian during an interview. Hua Xiqian said, let's make a deal. I'll make you famous and you'll follow me. But remember, I won't marry you. We're just taking what we need. At the time she nodded confidently and said, Mr. Hua, I understand. But now. She had forgotten the promise she made. They say that one can only achieve success if they don't forget their original intentions. But now, how many people could still remember their original intentions? Emo Schweger didn't know whether it was because there were too many temptations, or because she didn't have enough willpower. Either way, she was no longer the same person she used to be. It's already like this, what's the point of talking about it? We can't go back, neither of us can. Actually, I've been thinking if you hadn't married Emo Schwerer, but me, would our ending have been different? Emo Schweer's eyes were filled with tears. That won't happen. There are no ifs in life, only consequences and results. We're born to make choices and pay for our choices. Schwerer, you're not a kid anymore. You shouldn't be so stubborn. It's about time. I won't disturb you any longer. You should focus on your recovery. Hua Xiqian looked at the time and didn't want to waste any more time. Xiqian, if I tell you that I regret it and that I was wrong, will you still forgive me? Emo Schweger looked at Hua Xiqian with tears in her eyes. If you said those words earlier, maybe. But now, it's too late. After speaking, Huasiqian smiled evilly and turned to leave. Emo Schwege felt her heart completely cold. She knew that Huasiqian wouldn't let her go. She was dead meat. She looked at the bouquet of 99 roses, which meant that she was, forever. Huasiqian's her life of a lifetime. Emo Schwege screamed in pain. Her bodyguards and manager were so scared that they rushed in, thinking that she was in danger. Schwege, are you okay? What happened? Her manager asked as she hugged her. Get out, all of you, get out, get out. Emo Schwege was very emotional. Huasiqian walked out of Southside Recuperation Center and got into his Mercedes-Benz. Huasiqian lit a cigarette and looked at the brightly lit Southside Recuperation Center. If only Mion worked overtime here, I could bring her dinner or something. He smiled as he talked to himself. Huasiqian suddenly came to visit Emo Schwege and gave her flowers. This made her even more terrified. She knew that she was done for. Huasiqian wouldn't let her go. Emo Schwege didn't sleep that night and was very emotional. The next morning when Huamin arrived, the assistant nurse said, Chief Hua, Emo Schwege is very emotional. She kept asking to see you. Huamin was slightly surprised. He put on his white coat and glasses and walked towards Emo Schwege's room. Chapter 21:12. Inside Emo Schwege's room, Huamin saw her. Truth be told, Emo Schwege had been staying at Southside for a few days now. Occasionally he would see her walking around the hospital. She looked energetic every day and was even in the mood to sign autographs for the nurses and doctors. However, after only one night, Emo Schwege looked like neither a human nor a ghost. When Huamin walked in, Emo Schwege was sitting barefoot on the bay window smoking. Her hair was messy and she looked very haggard. Huamin walked over, snatched her cigarette, threw it on the ground and stomped it out. This is a hospital. Smoking is prohibited. Please be responsible for your own health and that of others, Huamin said in a serious tone. Emo Schwege tilted her head and glanced at Huamin. Her voice was very hoarse. I'm done for, I'm so dead. What's wrong? What happened? Huamin frowned slightly. Huasiqian came last night, and then? Huamin continued to ask. Emo Schwege briefly told Huamin what happened. Then she smiled bitterly. It's so unusual for him to be so gentle to me. I knew it was a sign of death. I'm done for, Huasiqian won't let me go. I warned you from the beginning, but you still did it. Huamin looked at her calmly. No, we can't turn back now. Huamin, let's work together. He's our common enemy. Think about how he framed you. Think about how he almost killed your husband. Think about how he tried to kidnap you when you were pregnant. He's a demon. If he's alive, we won't have a good life. Huasiqian is my enemy as well. But I won't work with you, Huamin said calmly. That's ridiculous. We're not colluding with each other, we're working together. You know, without me you won't be able to deal with him. All I have to do is testify that he wasn't by my side the night Song Yisha died. I'll lie to you and then you'll be able to get rid of Wang Shasha. I'm sure Wang Shasha is dead. Even though we haven't found her body yet, Huasiqian must have done it. There's bound to be flaws in all of this. We have to work together to kill him or else we're doomed. Not us, you're done for. Huamin said calmly. Do you think Huasiqian will let you go? You're not wrong, he's not in danger. But what about your husband and daughter's daughters? Emo Schwege tried to provoke Huamin. Huasiqian won't do anything to them, right? I'll protect my husband and my daughter. But I won't do anything rash. The grudge between you and Huasiqian is between the two of you. You're a patient right now, so if you want to discuss a patient's condition with me, I'm willing to participate. But if it's a personal grudge, I'm sorry, but I won't be joining you. After he spoke, Huamin turned around and left. No matter what Emo Schwege said, Huamin wouldn't believe her. She was too calculative. One second she said she was willing to work with Huamin, but the next second she would betray him. Huamin's rejection and departure drove Emo Schwege into a frenzy once again. She couldn't even sleep, so she took pills by the bucket. Then at noon she begged to be discharged. Apparently Mr. Xiang sent someone to pick her up. At noon, Huamin took some time out to upload the information that he had prepared beforehand onto the internet. This immediately caused a huge uproar. It turned out that Huamin released the recording of his conversation with Yingzi yesterday to let everyone know that Yingzi was the mastermind behind all of this. After the recording was released, Yingzi's Weibo immediately fell into a frenzy. Hundreds of thousands of netizens attacked and cursed at her. Everyone at Ingzi's studio panicked. Sister Ingzi, what do we do now? Her assistant asked anxiously. Chapter 21:13. Huamin, that bastard, how dare he set me up? Ingzi would never have dreamed that Huamin would record their conversation. She was sure that Huamin doted on his brother Enai Yang, and would give her 100 million yuan. After all, 100 million yuan was a drop in the ocean for someone like Huamin. Many rich people like to use money to buy peace of mind. Who would have thought that Huamian would be so ruthless? Ingzi was about to explode from anger. After Ingzi logged onto Weibo, she posted a statement. In light of the audio posted on a forum today, I would like to personally respond. That voice is not mine, it was obviously edited. Although Enai Yang and I are no longer working together, I would never do anything to hurt him. Please don't believe in false rumors, reject online violence and clear my name. Thank you everyone. As for the false audio posted by someone to frame me, I have already contacted a lawyer and am about to send a lawyer's letter. After Ingzi posted on Weibo, the comments below were very controversial. Sister Ingzi, you have always been Enai Yang Appa's savior. Please don't do this to yourself, we fans will be disappointed. The audio was posted by GK's president Hua. He's such a big shot, why would he frame you? If you don't want people to know, then don't do it. Woman, why don't you just admit it? Let's wait for the truth. If you really framed Enai Yang, then you really are a bitch. 100 million yuan isn't a small amount. Are you going to bury yourself with Tang Dynasty pottery with that much money? Thank you for promoting Enai Yang all those years ago. Now that we're on different paths, please don't slander him. We've all seen how hard he's worked over the years. Thank you. Let's wait for the war. It's going to be exciting. Enai Yang Appa isn't here anymore. He's probably out of the country, right? If you really did it, he'll be so sad. Sister Ingzi, I support you. You're definitely not that kind of person. Huamin was probably instigated by someone this time. Ingzi insisted that the audio had been edited and photoshopped, and that it was not her voice. Therefore, the netizens were skeptical. After lunch, Huamin returned home. He happened to call him. The netizens are just as you expected. The woman denied it is making it worse. When are you going to release the other video? There's no rush. Let's let it go. When things get too big, I'll pop it. Who was very calm. Dr. Hui, you're so smart. Why don't you quit being a doctor and join Imperial Star's PR team? You can help us come up with strategies. That's boring. Compared to the infighting in the entertainment industry, I prefer doing meaningful things. I'm proud of helping patients recover. Don't take that away from me. Huamin chuckled. You make yourself sound so great. Oh, now I want to go into the medical industry too. Should I sell Imperial Star tomorrow and open a hospital or something? You're rich, aren't you? Why open a hospital? Just focus on being President Su. After you release the other video tonight, send it to me on WeChat. I'll take care of the rest. Huamin nodded and hung up. Just then Enai Yang sent Huamin a voice message. Sis, we're in Bali. The air is great. You should come and relax when you're free. Yeah, I like islands too. After we deal with the things before the new year, it's time for the four of us to go on a vacation. Sis, I saw the news. That audio, is it real? Did Sister Ingzi really do this? Did she blackmail you for 100 million? Enai Yang's voice trembled. Chapter 21:14. I'll take care of this. You and Jie can go on vacation without worry. Huamin didn't answer the question directly. Instead, he changed the topic and talked about the vacation. Sister Mion, I want to know the truth. I'm not a kid anymore. Don't hide it from me. I can take it. Enai Yang wouldn't give up until all hope was gone. He kept asking for the truth. After hesitating for a while, Huamin nodded. He did it. But why would she do that? When she terminated my contract, I already took a sum of money from her. It's been so long and now she's suddenly exposing me and slandering me. I don't understand why Sister Ingzi would do that. She's not that kind of person. Enai Yang's tone was filled with indescribable sadness and disappointment. In his heart, Sister Ingzi was no longer his agent. She was still his benefactor, his talent scout, and he was indebted to her. She's always been that kind of person. You just didn't touch her interests before. Now that her own studio isn't doing well, she naturally thought of another way out. And that way is you, so she just wants money, right? Young asked. Yes, and she's asking for 100 million yuan. What did President Su say about this? Young asked. With Su Yu's temper, there's no way he'd give her 100 million yuan. He wouldn't even give her a dime. The way she's doing things has ruined her character and her reputation. Su Yu's actions have always been swift and decisive. If I don't intervene, Su Yu will directly find someone to blacklist her. She won't be able to stay in this city or in the entertainment industry. Then she'll end up worse than she is now. Huamin calmly analyzed. Young didn't say anything. Little Yang, are you soft-hearted? Huamin asked tentatively when he heard Yang's silence. From the moment she ruthlessly exposed my past, I no longer have the concept of being soft-hearted towards her. Sister, I'll leave this matter to you. I believe you'll handle it well. Thank you for your hard work. When Jia and I go back this time, we plan to directly register our marriage. So soon? Huamin was a little surprised. Strike while the iron is hot? It's rare to go on a vacation with her. It's such a beautiful day, so I think the probability of my proposal succeeding is very high. After all, little Jia is such a twisted person. Heh. Young chuckled. As long as you're happy, I'll always support your decision. Then if you want to get married, I'll open the way for you and escort you. I'll pay for your wedding. Don't fight with me. Sis, shouldn't President Su pay for the banquet? Should we scam him? Young smiled brightly. No, I'll pay for the banquet. You should ask President Su to give you a big present. If he wants to scam you, please scam him. Huamin joked. Young laughed heartily on the other side. Sis, it's so good to have you. You're Yang's only sister in my life. When you appeared in my life 4 years ago, it was like a ray of sunshine entering my life. I knew that my world would never be the same again. I even feel like I'm a completely different person from before. If Sister Ingzi gave me a chance to become famous, then you're the one who lit up my life with hope. Young confessed with deep emotion. Hey, you're so mushy, Jia will be jealous if she hears this. You're just an older sister, why are you confessing like you're a lover? Huamin laughed. Chapter 21:15. Jia wouldn't be jealous. You're the person she admires the most. I'm so famous, but she doesn't worship me. You're her life goal. If you hadn't given Ken a chance at the hospital, Jia wouldn't have stayed at Southside to be your assistant. She's just a girl from the countryside. She has no money, power, or connections. She wouldn't have known me. So you're our savior. Hey, don't be so sentimental. We've known each other for so many years, it's too polite to say these things. You two just need to be happy. I'll take care of things here. When you come back, everything will be over. Okay, thank you, sis. Prepare a big red envelope, I'll announce our marriage when I get back. Young seemed to be in a good mood during this vacation. It seemed like giving him and Qinjia a vacation was the right decision. No problem, sis, you have a big business now and don't need money. After hanging up the phone, Huamian returned to her busy work. When she got off work, she called the company and found that Qin Chu was still working overtime. So this time it was her turn to pick up Qin Chu. Everyone at GK was in awe of Huamin. Hello, President Hua. Good evening, President Hua. Along the way, all the employees greeted Huamin as if they were very close to her. Huamin nodded and smiled. Outside the president's office, Qin Chu's serious and heavy voice sounded. It seemed like he was lecturing his subordinates. Huamin opened the door and peeked in. Sure enough, 5 senior executives were being lectured. What's going on? Is Mr. Qin mad? Huamin asked Assistant Yang in a low voice. President Hua, you came at the right time, please save us. The construction of the building in Lingnan has been seriously delayed. We can't hand in the building on time and the owners are making a big fuss. Today, the news media came to the president for an interview and said that he was very angry. After investigating layer by layer, they found that every department was negligent in their duties. In the end, President Qin was furious. Lingnan? That shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't they have handed in the apartments a long time ago? Huamin remembered that this project was developed when she was still here. Half a year ago when she went to Lingnan to investigate, everything was fine. Don't mention it. The person in charge of Lingnan lost a lot of money in Macau's casinos, so he used his power and reputation to ask us for money. Because we've worked with him several times, we've approved it. Although the amount wasn't a lot, the problem is that guy who took the money and gambled the money, and then borrowed money from the people. Lingnan's bank's ants, private. Lingnan's bank and the private loan companies in our company. The Lingnan's bank in Lingnan, S bank and the private, S bank. And the bank Sins the bank in Lingnan's, T and the T. As this and Lingnan's and Lingnan T ST, T tes Lingnan tes, STT. Tiestes S to T, S, T T8 Lingnan, S teach. What's the progress now? Huamian asked worriedly. It's the last step, the window and door. Once they're done we can hand in the apartments. I see. Yeah, I understand. Huamin nodded. He had a rough idea. When Huamin pushed the door open, Qin Chu immediately shot her a murderous look. When he saw Huamin he instantly switched to his gentle mode. Honey, you're off work? Chapter 21:16. It's rare for me to get off work so early today. I want to go to Shuxiang restaurant for spicy hot pot. Huamin smiled. President Hua, nice to meet you. President Hua. When the 5 executives saw Huamin, it was as if they saw their savior. They wanted to set off firecrackers to celebrate. I still have some things to take care of. Qin Chu replied. But I'm hungry. Huamin bit her lip and began to act coquettishly. As expected, as soon as she said that, Qin Chu couldn't resist. He looked down at his watch and then looked up at his 5 subordinates. We'll talk about this tomorrow morning. You guys can leave now. Yes, President Qin. After they left, Qin Chu immediately got up and put on his jacket. Then he put his arm around Huamin's shoulder. Let's go eat hot pot. Huamin didn't forget to say something to the secretary before they left the president's office. Everyone, let's get off work. These people were completely in awe of Huamin. Although President Qin was scary when he was angry, as long as Huamin was willing to come, then nothing would be a problem. Inside a private room on the top floor of Shuxiang restaurant, the couple was eating spicy hot pot with gusto. It's too spicy, don't eat too much. And don't eat in such a hurry, Qin Chu kept reminding Huamin. It's so good. I've been eating it recently. Why would I care so much? Huamin stuck out her tongue. Honey, why did you get off work so early today? Did Xiaoyang call you for help? No. Definitely not. I just finished work today and don't have anything to do tonight, so I thought I'd come and have dinner with you. How's Ni Yang's situation? I've been busy today and didn't see the news. Qin Chu added a mouthful of beef into the hot pot and chatted with Huamin. It's not a big deal. I'll take care of it, Huamin said confidently. That's good. Qin Chu nodded and then picked up some food for Huamin. Hubby, I talked to Xiaoyang at the entrance of the Lingnan building today. What do you plan to do? I don't have a good solution in this situation. I plan to pay for the door and window with my own money. Then I'll be able to hand over the house on time. As for the bank and private credit, I don't care. After all, it involves too much. The doors and windows are not a small sum either. We have already paid for them previously. If we pay for them again, it will be the same as taking the money twice, right? Yes, that's right. Qin Chu nodded. Then we won't be able to make much money from this property, and we might not be able to do it in Lingnan market. After all, our reputation will be very bad after this incident. That's right. That's why I'm so angry. This project was started 2 years ago and you personally approved it. It was supposed to be a good thing, but now it's messed up. I'm really upset. Qin Chu sighed slightly. But I have an idea. Maybe we can fix this? Huamin smiled at Qin Chu. What idea? Qin Chu looked up at her. Kiss me first and I'll tell you, Huamin said playfully. Qin Chu was in a good mood. He walked over, picked up Huamin and kissed her cherry-like lips. Originally she asked for a kiss, but Mr. Qin didn't let go. When the waitress came to add soup to the hot pot, she was shocked when she pushed the door open. Hubby, I don't think it's a good idea to do this. After kissing for a long time, Huamin was almost out of breath. Then she slowly pushed Qin Chu away. It's rare for you to ask, so I have to satisfy you. Huamin was speechless. What? You're not satisfied? Qin Chu teased. No, I'm very satisfied, huh? Huamin immediately waved her hand. She really had to hand it to Mr. Qin. So, honey, can you tell your husband your plan now? Qin Chu licked his lips seductively and smiled at Huamin. Chapter 21:17. My idea is that we don't have to use our own money to install the doors and windows. Chin-Chu was speechless. Honey, stop messing around. If we don't install the doors and windows, are you going to let the owners live in the open air? Chin-Chu laughed as he ate his hot pot. Let me finish. What I mean is that we don't install the doors and windows, but we can lower the price and sell them at a price that's close to the people. We can sell the Lingnan real estate as a low-priced real estate, and the owners can choose to install the doors and windows based on their financial situation. That way, everyone will think that the price is cheap and they won't care about the doors and windows. We won't be affected by negative news and will have a good reputation in Lingnan. Huamin slowly explained his idea. Chin-Chu listened carefully and nodded. I understand what you mean. We'll lose money by lowering the price and installing the doors and windows ourselves, but the effect will be different. The former gives people the impression that the price is close to the people, and if the average price is surprisingly low, people won't care about the doors and windows. For example, the average price before was 8,000 yuan, but now it's 6,000 yuan. From a visual point of view, we'll save a lot of money. If we install the doors and windows ourselves and the price is still the same, sales won't be ideal and we won't have a market in Lingnan. It'll be even harder to continue doing business in the future. That's right, that's what we're talking about. Huamin nodded repeatedly. Chin-Chu looked at him with admiration. Dr. Hui, you're so smart that it's scary. Of course not. It's just a small matter. I'm not saving money for the company, and we won't make any money by selling it at a low price. But we'll have a good reputation, Chin-Chu added. That's why I think it'll work. It'll work, let's do it. But what should we do? My wife is a doctor and she can still manage the company. Why do I look like a hero who can't do anything? Chin-Chu teased on purpose. The harem can't interfere in politics, haha, I won't say that again. Huamin laughed. Don't. If you want, I can give you the entire country. As long as I have it, as long as you want it, I'll give it to you. Mr. Chin's unintentional confession made Huamin's heart sweet. The couple had a great time eating the spicy hot pot. By the time they drove home, it was already 9:30 p.m. Little Bean and Pudding were watching TV with Qin Ning. Huamin glanced at it. It was a popular variety show. Speaking of which, Little Bean and Pudding had stopped watching cartoons a long time ago. What Boisterous Bears, what Happy Yang Yang, what Peppa Pig. None of them were her cup of tea. Babies, you haven't slept yet? Chin-Chu walked over and sat between his two daughters. What did you have for dinner? Huamin took off his jacket and walked over to ask. However, the twins pretended not to hear him and continued watching TV. Sis, look at how good Big Brother Lou is. I'm his biggest fan. I can talk to Handsome Sue and ask him to sign Big Brother Lou to Imperial Star. That way when I grow up I can be his wife. Little Bean said as she chewed gum. Then you'll be at a disadvantage. Brother Xiaolu is already in his 20s. By the time you grow up he'll be in his 40s. He'll be a middle-aged uncle. How can you marry him then? Pudding calmly analyzed. Hey, come on. You two love-struck idiots. Can you not talk about who you want to marry? It's not something you should be thinking about. After all, your auntie isn't married yet, Qin Ning protested. What's going on? Are they ignoring us? Huamin realized that his daughters were ignoring him and Mr. Qin. Chapter 21:18. So, Pudding and Little Bean are mad at us? Chin-Chu asked with a chuckle. Oh, so someone and someone still remember that they have a daughter. I thought they forgot. They go out to spend time with the two of them every day. So sweet. They eat hot pot and ramen. I can't live like this anymore. We're like abandoned babies. So pitiful. Little Bean whined. You're right. Someone and someone aren't like parents at all. They flirt with each other every minute and act like they're teenagers. Even if you two knew each other in high school, you can't be so crazy. Not only did you not bring us to eat good food, but you also came back so late and ignored us. Humph. Pudding also protested. Chin-Chu, Huamin, Big Brother, sis-in-law, I didn't teach them that. Ha, you know how smart they are. Qin Ning quickly explained. So you two brats are jealous? Huamin couldn't help but laugh. So, Daddy and Mommy really did something wrong, right? Did they hurt the baby's feelings? Mr. Qin admitted his mistake without any shame. What do you think? Little Bean glanced at her daddy and pouted. If things keep going like this, we'll have a younger brother or sister soon. Then our status will be... Zai, let's not talk about it. It's going to make me cry. Little Bean, let's go to bed. Why don't we talk to handsome Sue tomorrow and ask him to take us away? We can be adopted by the Sue family. Lord Sue, Grandma Sue, and Great-Grandpa all like us so much. Good idea. Sis, I'm with you this time. The two sisters chimed in and then turned to go upstairs. Chin Chu and Huamin were left in a mess, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Mr. Chin, look at your good daughter. She's betraying us. Huamin curled up in Chin Chu's arms and whined. It's okay, they're just saying. I have a way to deal with them. Mr. Chin was full of confidence. For example? Huamin raised an eyebrow and asked. For example, I can freeze Pudding's bank account. She won't be able to move a single cent. Ha, good idea. Huamin smiled proudly. Qin Ning looked at her brother and sister-in-law with disdain. The four of you are the worst in the world. You're as evil as you can get. You're so scary. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going upstairs to sleep. Huamin knew that the two were being coquettish, so he didn't take it to heart. He went upstairs directly to shower and changed his clothes. Mr. Qin, on the other hand, couldn't sit still. Even though he knew that the twins were deliberately provoking him, he still went to appease them. After Huamian, Pudding, and Qin. As expected, the incident during the day continued to spread. Yingzi kept denying it and even threatened to sue Huamian for slander. Ni Yang's Weibo, Yingzi's, Huamin's, and Suyu's Weibo were all flooded with comments. Huamin opened her Weibo and saw countless private messages and messages tagging her. Most of them were related to Ni Yang. They wanted her to show evidence and not accuse Yingzi. There were also Yingzi's fans, haters, and paid posters that purposely provoked Huamin. Huamin, if you want to accuse her, show evidence. You can't bully a small studio just because you're the president and a famous doctor. How shameless is that? Huamin, are you and Ni Yang in a relationship? Why are you helping him? Goddess Hua, come out and say something. What's going on? Who should we believe about Ni Yang Appa? Huamin glanced at the comments and looked at the time on his phone. It was 10:50 p.m. The time was just right. Huamin took out another video and uploaded it onto the internet. Like a bomb, it shocked the netizens. Chapter 21:19. The video that Huamin uploaded was the one that only had audio and no video. Now that the video was replayed, it was like a slap to Yingzi's face. Huamin then reposted his video and wrote, I didn't post the video directly because I wanted to see if Yingzi regretted what she did. After all, Ni Yang was with her for so long, and it's a good thing that they couldn't do business with each other. Now it seems like I worried too much. Not only did she not regret what she did, but she even went from bad to worse. She denied everything she did and even said that I was slandering her. I asked professionals to analyze this video to see if there were any traces of Photoshop. Of course, some people with ulterior motives might say that I'm despicable for taking photos in secret. However, if she didn't ask for 100 million yuan from me and say things that hurt Ni Yang's feelings, what's the point of me taking photos in secret? So, God is watching. Those who are unjust are doomed to destruction. Didn't someone say that she wanted to go to court with me? She said that I'm slandering her? Very well, even if you don't come to me, I'll come to you. Thus, she asked for 100 million yuan. Is this considered blackmail? After Huamian posted this, she received countless reposts, comments, and likes in a short amount of time. Huamin's true fans were so excited and happy. Goddess Hua, I love you. I'll give you 32 likes. I knew you had a trump card. Well done. Sister Mian, thank you for everything you've done for Ni Yang. Time reveals a person's heart. We know who's sincere to Ni Yang and who's just pretending. Some people only treat him like a cash cow. Disgusting. Let's see what that bitch Yingzi has to say now. My Mian's IQ. He's so smart. Awesome. Dr. Hua, didn't they say that after giving birth, you'll be dumb for 3 years? Why are you still so smart? Huamin couldn't help but laugh when he saw this comment. He even replied, my babies are 3 years old now, so I'm past the stage of being dumb. This funny reply made Huamin gain a lot of fans. After watching the video as an IT expert, I can responsibly tell you that this video is real. There are no traces of Photoshop. I'm waiting for a certain bitch to cry and beg for mercy. 10 minutes after Huamin posted on Weibo, Suyu coolly reposted it without saying anything. It was just a casual turn, but it represented Imperial Star's attitude. Imperial Star's official website and Ni Yang's manager began to repost the post. Then all the artists under Imperial Star followed suit. Ni Yang's friends in the circle, including Jiang Xiaowei and Tang Chuan, also began to repost the post. The most awesome person was still Gao Ran. Gao Ran's Weibo verified that he was the director of the Public Security Bureau in Sea City. His casual repost was especially persuasive and popular. Wow, it's been a long time since we last saw Chief Gao. Goddess Hua is amazing. Waiting for that bitching to die. Half an hour later, a well-known media outlet began to release a piece of explosive news. Many artists in the circle collectively revealed that they had been cheated of a lot of money by Ingzi's studio. Then they were threatened and intimidated. Because they were B-list or even C-list artists, they didn't dare to say anything. Now they were being pushed down by everyone. Many small-time artists in the circle posted on Weibo about their feud with Ingzi's studio. A few female models even said that after they signed the contract, they were forced to drink and sleep with Ingzi. Instantly, thousands of waves were stirred up. 40 minutes later, Ni Yang personally logged onto Weibo and reposted Huamin's post. Then he wrote a very meaningful sentence, that you're tuning in to the Biao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.